Well, he bataka make. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
What you talking about is Jaden Place. See me up to the time, a cartel. I represent for Jaden Chase.
Blessings Nation, and now welcome to the channel. Your man Jaden Chase, another one that we gonna bring another reasoning on the topic of music news and current affairs. Now, if you're new to the channel, well, I'm suggesting that you click the subscribe icon and of course let your voice be heard. Like and share the video and drop a comment in the comment section. Now, let's get right into the reasoning. Now, Nation, the comment is on its way, and this is indeed the year of freedom. Some have also dubbed it the year of revelation, as Andre Stevens has launched his campaign of exposure against the state. Now, with Vybz Kartel's freedom set for this year, Andre has pointed out that the numerous discrepancies that took place during the initial trial and also the local appeal should not be overlooked and seen for what it actually was, which was judicial corruption. From the witness, Lamar Weechow changing his statements, to the tampering of evidence. May I make hear from Andre Stevens, as he is now represented by one of Vybz Kartel's former attorneys. May I make hear what one will continue reasoning. Look and listen.
The best, one of Jamaica's best criminal lawyer.
Yes,
Valrinita. And when Valry take up a case, she not lose it. And through the system against Vybz Kartel, why Vybz Kartel can't win the case. But Kartel, you soon come out of prison. You soon come out of prison.
Them prison the boy for true. Them for the free of the youth.
Kartel not do nothing to deserve. Kartel not
Yes.
deserve them kind of pressure there.
Blessings Nation, and now let's continue reasoning. Now, first and foremost, there is no denying the new findings by the defense, as the findings were found by a UK-based digital investigation firm. And listen to this. David John Martin noted that the video, which the prosecution alleged placed Vybz Kartel at the scene of the crime, was not in alignment with his actual location. You need more than that? Do you think the UK needs any more than just that? The prosecution conviction was based on digital evidence, evidence that was tampered with. And worst case, this is evidence that they withheld from the defense, meaning that prosecutors knew that Vybz Kartel was nowhere near where they placed him. And let's even talk about the scene. There is no crime scene. Let's put that into perspective. There has never been any crime scene found by investigating officers or presented in court by the prosecutors. The place, the premises that prosecutors alleged the situation took place at, when forensics, I will not talk privately hired forensics, we are talking about state and law enforcement forensics team. When they visit the scene, there was no evidence of foul play. There was no evidence of a cleanup. And if nothing will take place, and them never find the evidence of the place being cleaned up, for hide the evidence, then something wrong. Why were these findings detailed after the trial? Why did prosecutors even feel it fit to move forward with the case, seeing that they were lacking in evidence? And the piece of evidence that was relied upon to secure a conviction was tampered with and can even be used to prove Vybz Kartel and his co-accused innocence. And we can't overlook the defense team and the questions that they raised that said, we sent a letter to the public defender which stated that he saw the individual, Mr. Williams, after the date of the incident. You can't overlook statements like this. The UK won't do it. No Nation, for here, Andre Stevens, who, as noted, is now represented by one of the lead attorneys on the case, a Queen's Counsel, and he's stating that the odds were stacked against the defense team. Numerous motions were overlooked. In which scenario, even if it's a movie scenario, where have you ever seen people have a live eyewitness to an incident? An eyewitness who was willing to give his account in court. But yet, the system had to rely on tampered evidence to secure the conviction. And even during the appeal, them say, them are uphold the initial conviction based on the same tampered evidence. When them claim that they may have an eyewitness, so what happened to the eyewitness? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened to the eyewitness. After being cross-examined, it was clear. The eyewitness was simply making up the story. And the system knows it. And clearly, that is why they chose to rely on the phones and the so-called evidence that was stored as data, only to find out that there was no evidence stored as data. It was said that Sean Storm picked up an individual and traveled from one location to another. When his cell phone was checked, he was still in his community. When they were stating that he was in an entirely different parish, he was actually in his hometown community. Now, there's no way a first world judicial system, because even though the Privy Council is Jamaica's highest court, it is based in the UK, a first world country, where neither prosecutors nor judges are allowed to make up the law as they go along. But talk to me, nation. Do you agree with Stevens? And to point it out, based on the evidence now recovered and all of the transgressions that were brought to light, whether done during investigation or at the prosecution's level, meaning in open court, because these things have to be questioned. Did the prosecutors know that the evidence was tampered with and use it in an open court just for win a case? Is this the type of practice where take place? These are questions we have to answer. Somebody have to give account for it. And as the defense has stated, the first way to right the wrongs done by the state, or for the Privy Council release Vybz Kartel and co-accused. And this is based on the evidence. As we know, no preferential treatments are given in court. Well, first world court, can we see what take place at the local court level? People still talk about the X6 case. People still talk about the Kentucky Kid case. But to see what happened when Portia, a former prime minister, took her case to the Privy Council, they never care if she was the former prime minister. Them say, what you know, based on the evidence and based on the law, this is how we have to go on. And it will be no different in a Vybz Kartel's case. And based on the evidence, Vybz Kartel should have been free. Whether them want to call it gut feeling or intuition, and that's something you use at court. And using the media to sway public opinion by saying that they had video footage of the crime. Now, why they never use the video footage for secure the conviction? There was never any video footage. They can't have video footage of something when it take place. Why they never rely upon the witness statement? This is the man the same seat. And come a court, come talk same seat. It's not a man with same seat on a corner. You know? This is the man that say what him know in a open court. Why them couldn't rely upon it? Because after being cross-examined, everything what him say was found to be untrue. The person him say him travel with, him never travel with the person. What him say never take place. And in fact, him tell the public defender who was defending him, say, him see the individual after the date where them a talk about. We can't overlook that. That's not something we can pretend say we never just hear. Talk to me in the comment section, people. But I said the one called Jaden Chase, dancehall news and correspondent. The news channel is pass through, but they like the reason, and of course, they like the point of view. I'm suggesting that you click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon, and of course, put it on all. And this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them for check out the channel, check out the reasoning. Join the discussion, the comment section. 24/7 never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and yes, your opinions. You know, we can continue the reasoning via the comment section. Your sentiments, and for those who don't, you may now move settings fam. Until the reason again, my sentiments for you and yours are for to live, love, and prosper. Stay tuned.